At 45 years old, my ear hair is like I shaved it yesterday, but now I feel like it ran away and came around, and now it's like here. So now right here, they're like diddling. Old man hair does some weird shit. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of We Made My Day. This interview you're about to see today was really cool. It was really cool. I don't think I've never not been impressed by this human being. When I first got clean almost 8 years ago, next month will be 8 years. Holy shit, next month will be 8 years. Rad. I went to a NA group. Button into it, I did the 90 for 90 just like you're supposed to, and I do recommend anyone does. There was a couple guys there that I didn't consider old timers because in age, they were not that old. Not old at all. But in experience, they were veterans. They had a lot of experience and a lot of hope to share. Two couple guys in particular, the one I have on here today, kept me going to that 7 a.m. meeting, way past my 90 days. And I always kind of held on to what he said. I remember a lot of things he said. I applied it to my life. It's really helped me out. When I was booking for season 2, I reached out to him because we had reconnected on the social medias. And he was like, yeah, sure, that'd be cool. And I went to his house. I knew it was going to be a great episode, and it is. The strength and hope that he shares about how he stayed clean now. And he has double digits, built business for himself, has his own house. Like he is the recovery dream. And I wish him nothing but the best. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. Here's episode 5 of We Made My Day season 2. With my man, Wendell Thompson. Man, this place is nice.
Well, put a lot of love into it, hard work into it.
Yeah.
Time, and I'm grateful for it, man. I love it.
It's beautiful. I remember you sharing a picture of it on Facebook. I'm like, I might have one of them one day.
Yeah, man. It's what every man deserve, man, that works hard. You know what I mean? To have his own little place for solitude and peace. Yeah, every man, I think, deserves one.
How, you said you've been here about a year. How long have you been with your wife?
We've been together 3 years now.
Nice,
we
man.
We were together 2 years before we got married, and we've been married a year. Oh.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I've wondered about you before social media came in, because when I got clean, well, clean, so it's all the same thing to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I was really trying to find a place to go that, for one, it was close to my house. Because the group the morning meeting that we met at was a block away from my house. And then I had to be at work at 8:15. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go here, and it was more of all the people that I went to treatment with that were still alive, or still clean, were all like, yeah, we're going to go to this one. And I'm like, cool, no problem. I'll go there too. Like, no problem. And then, like, I heard, of course, in every meeting, you hear a lot of just ridiculousness of just people, like the things like I had never heard before, like the struggles that some people went through, I never heard. Mm-hmm. So I shouldn't say ridiculousness. Right. I should say
different,
unfamiliar. Yeah. But then like you and Terry, like I always like I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna come to this meeting anymore. There's like just a lot of pain here, and I always remember like you and Terry and there was another guy there, Mike. Like y'all were always saying the things that I needed to hear that made sense to me.
Identification.
Like I remember one time I was having a rough morning, And it was like right after a friend of mine, like she was supposed to give me my 6-month tag, and I found out she died like that day.
Wow.
You ended up giving me my 6-month tag. And that was a long time ago, man. Yeah. But I remember like I walked in there and I was just so sad that she didn't show up, and I'm like, she just doesn't care, whatever. It turns out like she was dead. But then I remember the next day I went in, and like I was just so down or whatever. And you said, now I can't remember exact words because it was over 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago. But I shared about it, like how this was the biggest death that I've ever had to go through, because it was, someone I thought I had a something in common with, of we really wanted to do this. And like how it was hard to hold it together and keep coming to meetings because everybody was just either dying or going out. And you said something, you're like, man, it's not gonna be the last, unfortunately. And how you handle it from here is helping your foundation to where you could be a better version of yourself. And then like everybody kind of added on that, but that always stuck with me of because I was always one that crumbled at tragedy. That was always a crutch. It was an excuse. Like I would have a little bit of time.
That's what we call them.
Reservation. Yeah.
Find that whatever that reservation may be, it could be make a certain amount of money, or get a certain amount of status in life, or mother, father, grandmother died, kid died, whatever it may be. We have reservations that we have to smash, man. Yeah. We have to smash them. And that was probably one of your reservations that you smashed.
It was. It was. I mean, it was, and it definitely, you were right. It wasn't the last person. It was the first. Now it's more of a thing of like, I have empathy for it. But I personally have to be a little bit more cold-blooded to it, because it's more of like, I have empathy. I'm like, I'm going to miss that person. But at the same time, it's like, they didn't trust themselves.
Right.
Nothing I can do about that.
Right. And I always look at like what that person failed or tried to do, we can carry the torch for them. Yeah. If that make any sense. Like, they would want us to keep going. You know what I mean? That's how much I think they love us. The ones that, well, that whatever the reason they gave up, we don't know. What their reasons were, but they wanted it. They wanted it just like we wanted it. So I look at it like, I'm gonna carry the torch for me and them.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. When someone close to me or someone that been a part of my recovery. Yeah, and I think about it's like we connected in spirit still. Yeah, we they're not here, but we're still connected in spirit. And if I need them, I can go to them in spirit. Look, what should I do? That type of thing. And it's like I got the better part of them now. The stronger part of them. I don't know if that made any sense. But
it does. It does. I still have my friend that passed away. That was supposed to give him a 6 month. She had a package mailed to my house that came like a month after. That had like poetry that she wrote in it. And this is a platonic friend. Like, it wasn't, they say you shouldn't have relationships or hook up within the first year of sobriety. Boy, oh boy, did I not listen to that.
Who follows that?
Yeah. Nobody. I sure didn't. But this was a platonic friend, and I still have like her poetry like above my office, like above my workstation. So when I'm getting yelled at by a customer, or I got a lady the other day, she was just like, I hope your house burns down with you in it. And I'm like, damn. Wow. Man, over a phone battery? Like, what? That was hardcore. What? Who hurt you?
Well, she's going through something, huh?
Yeah, yeah, and you know that you never know what somebody's going through before you talk to them. I'm not trying to keep that, but anytime I have that, I look up at that poem, and it's something that I always read, and it is different that I understand better the next time. So, what was your clean date?
My clean date is November the 7th. I'm sorry, that's the year. November the 25th, 2007.
Dang, dude.
That's my clean date. So I got
Congrats
a little
on
over
that.
17 years. That's grace of God, man. God's grace, because I was the worst of the worst, man. I was the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so hard for me to imagine right now because you're such just a kind, thoughtful human being.
Yeah, I look back at it and I'm amazed myself, man, from where I was to where I'm at now. As a person, look at myself. I'm amazed, truly. I am grateful, and I'm just tickled, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how the God of my understanding brought me from there to here. I'm tickled, man. It's all I can't think of that word but I'm happy.
With 17 years, and this is gonna be. I'm excited to share this episode with people.
Yeah.
I always like it when there's a good long stretch in there because there's so much that I and others can learn from it. With those 17 years, like I would say, like about what year was it that you had a moment to where wherever that may be, waking up or whatever, to where you just all of a sudden realize like, oh, it's been a while since I thought about that, Wendell. And I've been living this and working hard here, to where basically like recovery kind of just became a part of you and not something that was thought about as much.
What year was it when I just started thinking, forgetting about, or not forgetting, just looking at where I'm kind of,
where you realized your progression?
Oh man, let me see. I would say maybe about 2015, I was probably like 10 years clean then, 12 years clean, something like that. I mean, of course, the first part of my clean time, my recovery, I did some time. I was working a program then. I started. I didn't know if this was going to work or not, but I ain't had nothing else to lose. So I started as soon as I got incarcerated. Started, going to meetings. My first 2 years, I was miserable. But I would say around my 10th to 12th year, I started. This right here this is my life now. This is my life now, and I'm accept, and I kind of like, I'm committed. I'm 10 toes down. I'm gonna accept this with gratefulness, with gratitude. I'm gonna accept where my, and it was just the deep, I would say, the psychic change that I felt inside, like, this is gonna work. It was a deep revelation. This is gonna, I had hope before that, because I didn't give up, obviously. But around my 10th and 12th year clean, I was like, this going, if I continue to do my best and work for my, my recovery, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna work. And I've been doing that ever since. I ain't saying that every day has been good. Right. I had some struggles, and I go through life, make bad decisions, bad choices, but I never made the choice to use again, and that's the best choice any recovering addict like myself can make on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But other than going through life and getting in the solution, finding a different perspective, but looking at myself and others different, looking at, I was a pessimistic.
Yeah.
And now, I can, I always expected that, things that happened, it was going to happen to me. But now they're going to happen to all of us. No one is exempt from stuff happening.
Life does not treat us special.
No, we all got that.
In fact, in some cases, life is a little harder just to challenge, I think. And I think that's just a higher power going, all right, I see them big boy shoes you got on. Let's see if we can get them a little wet, see how you act.
And I just started, man, believing in this love, this God, this creator that loves me more than actually I had loved myself. And I bought into it, man. I everything I got, I bought into this understanding.
Yeah.
And it got a lot to do with the people I associate with, a lot.
It's amazing on how much the people in those places can turn everything. Was that the first time you tried to get clean?
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah.
I was one of them ones that got fired by, people that wanted to help me. You ain't ready. I can't, I done did all I could do for you. You ain't ready. I was like, you don't supposed to fire nobody that's trying to get help. But, I got fired by people that wanted to help me. Because I was just, I wanted to do things my way, and I could see now, like, being, the type of work it takes, commitment it takes to stay in this process for anybody. It's hard. It's like the hardest thing I ever had to do. Hardest thing by far. And I can see now when I see people that don't commit themselves to this and go back out and do, I get mad. I can see what they were seeing when I went back out. Because I want you to have it too. Yeah. It's worth working for. But when somebody ain't ready, I understand. I just don't grab that like I don't grab that. I don't grab that as like, I have understanding, but you got to get it, man, but everybody ain't ready, so I have to understand.
Oh no, I completely.
But I still get mad. I get angry when I see somebody that cause you see good side of people. You get to know people like your friend. Yeah. You get to know them. And you see like they deserve this.
Yeah.
Then,
like you see that bright light.
Yeah.
And what always makes me mad is how fast somebody can hide that bright light for a high.
Yeah.
For a lifestyle that never respected them. And that's always been, and that was really hard for me. It's still really hard for me. It's one of the main reasons that now, like, I'll go to meetings when I need them. I'm very selfish about it, but I'm also a believer you have to be selfish in recovery because it's about you and your life. And you can help other people when you're good to help other people.
When you're in a position
to do it, you should definitely do it. But also, if you even have 1% doubt that like I'm not in that headspace right now, then stay away.
But the teacher will present itself when the student is ready.
Yeah.
Whatever, you could be on that either side of that I can't say the word, each side of the equation.
Yeah.
at either time, no matter if you got a large amount of time or a least amount of time.
Oh yeah.
You know, because we each one teach one. We learn from each other, and I always promote, you know, recovery. Whether I'm learning from somebody with, you know, 1 day clean, 30 days clean. If you can teach me something, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah,
so,
that's one thing I like about the way that I'm doing this show is I'm a firm believer that everybody's recovery is different. It's not ever going to be done the same way. Do I agree with all of it? No, but it's none of my damn business. You know, like the whole California sober thing. Look, if it's working for them, like I got a friend that's been off dope for 10 years. But it'll still go out there and hit a blunt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, that's working for them. Like me, I can't really. I was very absolutely nothing for like 3 to 4 years, and then I realized that I can't take prescription anti-anxiety or antidepressant anymore, because my biggest thing was booze and uppers and the pills I was being prescribed, and like lab made pills were poison. So it's like, you know, when I got ready to have a kid at 40, I was freaking out.
Right.
You know, I'm like, how am I going to do this? I'm just going to ruin this kid's life. This is blah, blah, blah. And then a friend of mine sent me like the CBD THC gummies. It's nothing like huge. They're not sending you to the moon, but they relaxed my body more than any anti-anxiety medicine did. And it didn't hurt. Like when I would take the anti-anxiety or the antidepressants, it would horrible stomach pains, you know? And like that was, so now it's like I hand those to my spouse, and I'm like, if I'm having a freak out and you know I'm not calming down, like she's the best. I love that woman. I'm so lucky for her. But my point is, everybody does everything differently, and it's one thing. Like on this, I never want, I never want to be judgy about everything on it. Like you've been just clean, sober.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir.
You found your faith. Like you do it the textbook way of it.
You know, I do it like to the best of my ability, right? It's spiritual principles, right?
Yeah.
That changed me. Everything that I was taught, or you know, everything that I've done conflicts with the spiritual principles of this, you know, the steps, right? So when I apply honesty, get real honest to myself, honesty to you, honest to, you know, my God and you know, my sponsor, it's something that I never practiced before recovery, being honest.
Yeah.
That alone is different for me. You know, surrendering. I fought, you know, myself. I fought. It was me against the world. You know what I mean? I surrendered. I don't have to fight. I don't have to win a conversation. I don't have to win to prove who I am. I surrendered to these principles, and they kind of like gave me what I was looking for all my life. It gave me what I was looking for in others. It gave me what I was looking for in substance. It gave me what I was looking for through tangible stuff. These principles gave me contentment, self-worth, self-love, it's taking away the self-hatred. You know, how can I say I love somebody else and I hate myself? So everything that I learned through this process of brotherly love, courage, I never lived those things to understand what those things give you if you apply those things. And so these things that I'm, every day is a learning process. I never arrive. So it's always every day of a surrender. I got to surrender every day. I only got the day. Yeah. I like this saying, I can't win today's game off of yesterday's home run. So every day.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So every day I have to work. I have to do something for Wendell.
Yeah.
To even think about helping Billy or my wife or my kids or my network. I have to do something for me. Mm-hmm. And that's, man, and knowing that I don't have to do it by myself, and I don't have to be who I thought this society or I thought I had to be, just being my authentic self. Like the God of my understanding said, you are worthy. You are worth it, because I made you. Like, I created you, not you. You didn't create you. I created you. I gave you those abilities, those gifts, those talents, those everything you got. I gave it to you. So I look at that, and I want to use that for, not for my vainglory, not to look at me, but to be of service,
right,
to myself and others. And that's what, and the day, man, every day, man, I just want to get out of my own way and allow, people such as you, I appreciate you letting me do this,
Grateful you wanted to, man. Like, I was like, man, I haven't talked to Wendell in years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I hope he, for one, I hope he remembers me. But secondly, like, I hope he's willing to do this, because I knew you'd have a good message for it. Do you still have days? I still have days that I know that I am in my own way, but I also know me being in my own way is actually, I know I'm not going to win that one. Like, I have to be able to back down from myself and reset in order to do better the next day. Do you still have those?
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Man, I get in my way all the time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But what I'm learning about that is, before recovery, I stayed in my way.
Right.
I stayed in my own way. It's getting shorter and shorter and shorter the longer I get in. It might still be a minute before I get out the way. Mm-hmm. But as long as I stay in this process, I get out of my way quicker. Yeah. If that make any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
It
makes perfect sense. It's the hardest thing to do when it comes to learning and teaching yourself and learning from others and actually listening with an open mind.
Yeah.
Is to just put yourself aside and listen, soak it in, and then you'll know where to put that in the cabinet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my hardest thing, was listening to somebody, and how different they were or their story was from me, knowing that it can still apply to me becoming healthier and better. That's still, man, I still have that. Like, I look at other people. Here's a good one. Here's kind of starts the questions of a thing, and I'm adding a few new ones in this year. So thinking about that, like, do you still have any? Not like in the way of like making you want to use or anything. But what is one characteristic that you have pop up every now and then that's still from the old Wendell, to where it pops up and you're like, whoa, there it is.
He don't know I kick his ass. he messing with the wrong one. I kick his ass. That one pops up.
Yeah.
Knowing I wasn't no gangster or nothing like that, but I feel like I can still, rumble.
Right.
I wasn't no fighter out there by no means. But when somebody, cross me, I feel like, man, I can kick his ass.
So anger.
Yeah, anger, man. Yeah. Anger has always been that go-to for me.
Mm-hmm. What is that trigger that brings that up?
It triggers a whole bunch of stuff, man. If it triggers fear, you know.
That's built in with anger, yeah.
Yeah, fear, feeling less than, doubt, guilt, shame. Anger, man. It takes me down that downward spiral of self doubt. You know, it's I don't know how to. I didn't know anything but anger and happiness. I didn't know anything other than those. You know how when I was feeling something. Being a man. You know, I didn't know how to experience. I didn't know all these other feelings in between to identify them. So when I felt angry, it took me a place to discontent.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to process it until now. You know, everybody gets angry. Mm-hmm. We all get angry. Mm-hmm. I just had to learn how to not stuff it in and let it, manifest and come out all at once. So now when I get angry, I think about, I process it. I process it now to a way where I don't keep it.
Yeah. I have to tattle on myself.
Yeah.
Like I'll go straight to my wife and I'll be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling that way.
But what if she's the person you're angry at?
Same way.
You still good. That's awesome.
Me and my wife, we've been together.
That's awesome.
We've been married. Be 2 years this year. Our daughter's 5. We were together a year before that. So 6, almost 7 years. We have never raised our voices at each other.
That is awesome.
We started our first date. Mm-hmm. I told her about my past, and I'm like, I'm in recovery. I'm working not as hard as I probably should be, and there'll be times to where, but I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm not going to be popping pills anymore. I'm fighting to make sure I can be who I can.
Open communication is where it's at, man.
Oh yeah, and she's the same way with me. I mean, just last night. I mean, we have some heavy fellowship discussions, but like last night we had one where it was. I said something about with my oldest stepson, and she was like, "This is how this is feeling," and Mama Bear claws came out, but she kept her cool. I'm like, I understand that. Thank you for telling me how you feel. I will adjust.
And that's being like open to each other, listening.
Yeah.
We don't like to listen.
No.
We just think our way is right. You should follow what I say because I know best.
Uh-huh. And I'm
being open-minded to someone's, different.
Yeah.
That's what we have to. That's
but
what I
have to learn. Still get angry a lot.
Oh yeah.
A lot, man.
Especially when, what about when your spouse or whoever you angry with, they're right.
Yeah.
They're right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn, they're right this time.
And it doesn't matter because in my head, my way is still the best way.
They right.
Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying this would still be better. And that doesn't make any sense. That's like pouring more gasoline into gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still get mad a lot. Like I get mad. My biggest thing is still anger, but it's still animosity. Like I have a problem with accepting that I don't have what other people have, knowing that they are not as a good of a person. And that's hard because I shouldn't judge in somebody being the type of person.
You're talking about like treating people like shit and they got a bunch of stuff to show for,
Like I know a guy who he lies a lot, cheats on his spouse a lot. Like he would sell a kid if it would make him more money.
Yeah, I know.
And the dude's a millionaire. And I'm like, you're horrible. Like, why do you deserve this? Why did the world reward you from this? And I'm sitting here like eating oatmeal for a week in order for my family to get some protein. You know what I mean?
I get it.
That's where my biggest thing, and I always have to remind myself of one thing my grandpa told me. He was a Methodist preacher in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But my grandpa told me one time, he said, I can't remember the exact words at this moment, but it was basically like, it's not about, God doesn't reward you with physical things, not money, not riches, not cars, none of that. But God always rewards you with feeling good about who you are. And I have to remind myself that that dude don't like who he is. That's why he keeps doing these things. He's miserable. All that stuff brings him more misery than anything. And that makes that oatmeal taste a little bit better. I mean, it's still ain't a damn steak, but it makes it taste a little bit better.
I like that, man, because contentment is the best reward for me. Being content and at peace, money can't buy that. I always wanted this social status of, having materialistic things to show, and I still like tangible things, but I learned not to put my value in wanting people to like me because I got something. Yeah. Being a piece of SOB. Being an SOB with money. I don't want to be like that. I'd rather have, my grandkids. I'd rather have my children. I'd rather have my wife. I'd rather have my friends, my true friends, respect and love than to want them to like me because I got something they wanted. That don't make, and that's why. And when you see people like that, you be like, man, he might have all the stuff you can buy, but he's not happy. Like you said,
those things can go away.
Yeah, you seeing this happening all the time.
Yeah, I mean, those things can go away, and like every time I'm mad about what somebody else. Like yesterday, like my car broke down. It's dead. It's. I mean, the bugles played when I got in that thing, and AAA had to come pick it up. But then like immediately I got home and I saw like a dude that just kicked his wife and his kids out.
What?
Yeah. He just kicked his wife and he's got two little twin kids. They're like 2. Kicked them all out. I don't know where they went, but they were so nice. And this dude's moved his young girlfriend in and bought 2 brand new cars and was like, so hey, look what I got over here. And I just want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna pee on those when you go to sleep. Like I'm gonna do something, and I had to remember. I'm like, nope. Like it's not about that,
Yeah.
All this is gonna. I have a feeling. Hopefully that other ex-wife. Hopefully his wife just takes it all from him. Like hopefully the universe.
There you go. I was thinking
that
universal law.
And that's so when you get that anger and stuff, what coping skills do you have to?
I call my sponsor, man. I call him. I work out. I like to go. I like to pray.
Yeah.
Pray. I like to pray, meditate. I like to. Sometimes I go downtown to look at the water, or I go to the cigar shop. It's works for me.
Yeah,
it works for me. I don't. I try not to react to it. I try to, respond to it. If that, that coping skill of thinking about what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Instead of just, like I can somebody if for example. Young man stole some equipment from me, and I know he was on drugs or whatever. And I got my equipment back, right? And he disrespected me. The young man got in my face. He weighed $120 soaking wet, right? And my reaction, I felt like all my power going to my fist, and my thought was, I can knock him out one punch, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I thought it through. I could get a charge. Other stuff could happen. So I just turned away and walked away. Right. I turned away and walked away from this guy, and I immediately I was so angry. Tears came to my eye, you know, and I prayed for this kid. I prayed for this young man, like, God help him. And you know that after a while, that anger went away. Now, had I responded the way I wanted to, I don't know how it would have ended.
Yeah.
But you know, this that much anger. You know, anger can make people do things they don't really want to do.
Yeah.
And cause them more problems. So, like I said, I respond to it now instead of react to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You discuss it with yourself instead of letting the mind and gut take over. The heart takes control instead of the gut.
Right.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. It works for me.
No, that does make sense. I should probably put that more into action. I get mad a lot when I see people like injustice happen. You know, like a dude talking smack to some elderly man at the grocery store. Like I'm like, that's where I'm like,
me too.
Man, there's been so many times I've been so glad my 5-year-old's with me. Like I'm like, I can't do nothing. She's here.
Yeah.
Like I'm so lucky that she is here right now. I take her everywhere with me in public now because she is like
your peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like that cold shower to calm me down.
Yeah. Yeah.
For everything. Even though, man, I'm gonna tell you what, she can heat me up too. That little girl's got all I see the little addict in her obsessiveness in things.
Yeah.
Man, she got more money in her wallet than I. She pulled out. She likes going to Jungle Rapids with me because we'll go and we'll play games. We'll get tickets. That's the daddy-daughter day.
Yeah.
The past few times I've been telling her, like, Daddy doesn't have money for it right now. You know, it's fine. Last time, kind of like 2-3 Saturdays ago, I'm like, Daddy doesn't have money for it right now. I'm sorry. She goes, I'll be right back. This little chick comes out of a room with $60 in a wallet. And I'm like, where did you get that? She goes, it's not important, Dad. I'm like, it's important, Till. Where'd you get that from? Well, Mommy had a 20 on there, and I thought that's what that's for is Jungle Rapids. Then Papa had one on his dresser. And then you had one on here. I'm like, no, we got to have a talk. I made her go back and give everybody back their 20s.
Yeah.
And she was so mad that she didn't get a gun in Jungle Rapids. But
you taught her something.
I taught her something, and she's only done it one other time. She pulled out another wallet the other day. I had like $30 in. I'm like, Tilly, she goes, I'll go give it back. I'm like, thank you. Appreciate it. She's got those tendencies that I'm trying to like show through action, you know. So being to have that 17 years on it, and I appreciate you sharing, like, even after 17 years, these tendencies, these thoughts, these characteristics, these triggers are still there. They just change direction. Instead of jumping off the wagon, they're more of self-taught coping skills, and you have some great ones.
Practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
Do you still I imagine with 17 years, and it's probably come second nature to just kind of protect your circles.
I do.
People.
I do, man. Like I said, it's very important who you associate with these days because you want to go where I like this saying, I hear it all the time. You want to go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it. A lot of people don't like your peace that you work for or the things that you're trying to do in life. So that energy, man, I protect my energy. I don't want to be around somebody that I got to, be in conflict with my, where I'm going. Yeah. I think we all can be what we want to be.
Yeah.
We can all do in life what we want to do. You just got to do the work. And the work that I do, my recovery, the work that I do for my life, I protect it, man. I protect it. My is my investment. If my wife, I protect. My children, I protect. My friends, I protect. Because they got my best interests. I got their best interests. So I'm protecting that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is a dirty world we living in, man. Times is crucial. People are miserable. It don't matter you got the same blood. It don't matter if you come from what environment you come from. If they're not going the way you want to go, some people just want to see you miserable like them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let nobody infiltrate my peace that I'm working for.
Yeah.
That I invested in. I'm not going to let nobody take that from me.
No.
So, we can be friends from a distance. We can be we can be kosher from a distance. But if you need me and I can help you, I will.
Right.
And I'm not. I learned that I'm no better than nobody else, but I'm better off not doing what I used to do. Mm-hmm. The things that used to cause me. I used to look at everybody and everything for my problems, and I was the one creating them.
Oh yeah.
I'm sitting there doing dumb, stupid stuff and blaming you, for the consequences that I'm getting. So I had to take responsibility of Wendell, and that's when I try to do that on a daily basis. I get better with it some days than others, but so far, I'm okay. I'm okay with where my life is today.
Yeah,
I'm okay, but I want to do better. I want to grow some more.
Right. Yeah, I'm a true believer. We never stop learning. We never stop growing.
Yeah.
I try to not stay complacent on things. Mm-hmm. I try to make sure that I don't. If I get used to something, I try to change it up a little bit, just to keep the mind flowing. It could be little things. Could be my routine. I'm still a creature of routine. Same thing every day. Some days, we got kids, so it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
But work days are work days. That's routine. Saturdays, it's whatever happened. Were you very transparent with your wife when y'all met about your background, or was it little by little? Man, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because the first day I met her, I said, "Damn, she's beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the bomb on her." So I said, "I'm gonna go ahead and drop this is who I am." Boom! I told her everything. I gave her a fourth step, right? Inventory. I dropped the bomb on her. I know she was like, "Oh wow!"
She sticks around for this one. I'm good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Because I didn't want to go down the road and then she found out later who I was.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I can deal with you, and I then got some attachments.
Right.
I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. That's how I am, man.
We gotta be. You know what I mean? I think I did the same thing.
Yeah.
There was no baby steps. I took the bucket and I poured it out. I didn't care what fell out. I didn't know what was in it in the moment.
Right.
I didn't know if I was going to be embarrassed.
Right.
But here it all is. She stuck around. I'm glad to hear it.
You know what, man? And I think the process of recovery taught me that I'm okay with who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with what I used to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't do those things no more, but I'm okay with who I am today.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of that, letting people know who you are. A lot of people want to take your old self and bring it up like you think you better than, no, I don't think I'm better than.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the work that it takes to be better for, I'm not the same dude. So a lot of people want you to feel bad in the present when you done did the work to change yourself. And being able to tell people who you are in the, the current, because you're not that same person, it takes work, it takes practice, it takes, you know what I mean?
It's such discipline.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've had to learn is discipline is key to everything for me.
It is.
And it's so hard because I am such a goofy clown about everything. That discipline makes it just talking to my kids, talking to other people in recovery, talking to guests. Discipline's everything.
It is, man.
So with you,
it is.
Like my wife every now and then, and this is a question that I was asked to ask a couple guests about how they're able to separate themselves from the rest of the world and what the rest of the world does when it comes to being social. Like my wife, she doesn't drink, but she'll have like a couple glasses of wine. Like if she's had a bad day, like I've never seen her drunk or buzzed once, and it was hilarious, but never drunk.
Right.
But like it's like I don't mind, I don't care.
Right.
Like it's not me doing it, you know. But how are you with, like, do you still go to the same places? Like when you're like taking your lady out, do you think about, I can't go to this place, I'm gonna take it here instead, or do you just like, this is what she wants?
I am very secure in my recovery, right? I don't go to places where people are doing drugs,
right?
Because that was my DOC,
yeah,
right. Drinking, sometimes I get the crazy thought, like, man, that might feel good, it tastes good, but I know, I've learned that's just a bunch of crap. Yeah. But as far as going places, man, I done been to Vegas 3 times where I'm gambling and they, the drinks are free.
Oh yeah.
But I'm there to celebrate my brother's birthday. I'm there. That's where me and my wife got married at, in Vegas. So I know where and if I do feel antsy, Billy, guess what I'm doing? I'm leaving.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm damn, they look like they having fun, and I want to, thinking like that. Matter of fact, the first 2 times I went to Vegas was with my brother, and he throws them back.
Yeah,
you can go to his house right now, and he got a bar full of that expensive liquor you talking about, about $1,000, a couple of $1,000 worth of liquor, and you can just. And I was like, man, why I couldn't go to places like this when I was in my. You know what I mean? Nah, but like it don't tempt me to want to get a drink, and if I do think about it. Like I was about to say, when I was in Vegas the first 2 times with my brother, I called an Uber. And went to a meeting. I went to a meeting in Vegas, and the second time I went to that. I didn't know I was going to end up going to that same meeting. And then my brother used to ask me, I just met my brother on my father's side a few years back, maybe about 8 years back when I came home, right?
Okay.
So my brother used to ask me, you want to drink? And I would never tell him why I didn't want to drink. I just say no. And that second time we went to Vegas, and he saw that I was adamant about my, not drinking. And I guess he figured out why, after a while, that I don't drink, because I'm in recovery. He said, man, I respect the hell out of you, man. I respect what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because he saw that, after all we down here with, because in Vegas it's free drinks when you're gambling. He said, man, we was going home. We was at the airport going. He said, man, I respect. He never asked me did I want to drink after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I have thoughts. I'm human.
Yeah.
I have thoughts of drinking, and if I obsess over a thought, I call somebody. But if it's a fleeing thought, I'll do something that's, productive instead of destructive. And I know the reason why I'm going where I'm going is to entertain me and my wife if we're going to the Crow, or if we're going to the comedy show in Atlanta. They, drinks there. I'm not going to,
Usually a 2-drink minimum at a lot of those places too, right. But club soda counts.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A virgin.
Actually, if you tell a lot of comedy clubs, you tell them, be like, hey, I'm sober, I don't drink.
I don't even tell them that. I just
soda, they'll give it to you.
I don't even tell them I'm sober. I just say I want a virgin, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I don't even go into detail why I want it.
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to asking for a virgin drink.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was actually another question somebody asked is like, how long was it to where you didn't have to talk about being in recovery all the time? That's a good question. Because it really depends how invested you are in the community, for one.
Right.
I mean, I think I talk about it on this, but then I'm kind of talked out.
You know, I don't go around like promoting that I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
I don't. I just don't. You know what I mean? People see me, they see, you know, is what they get. Now, if you ask me, am I in recovery? I'll tell you all day, yes, I am. But I don't go around promoting that I'm clean, that I'm in recovery. People that know me know me. People that don't know me, they just know, you know, what they see now. Mm-hmm. But I don't, you know, I just don't do that. I just don't do that. And I go to my meetings where, you know, I support my recovery. I do my literature. I got my literature down there that I'm waiting to go over my 8th step. I just finished last week my 8th step for the multiple. You know, I don't know how many times I done worked it before, but I'm ready to go over it again. That's something I do because the process now, the carrot in front of the horse now don't represent the desperation to get clean and stay clean.
Yeah.
The carrot in front of the horse now represents the passion to want to grow and live. And that's what recovery is to me.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to grow and live, continue to stay free. That's my goal. That's one of my healthy fears, to stay free. I'm talking about physically and spiritually.
So your recovery has gone from, I love that horse in front of the carrot analogy, being about what point in the 17 years did it go from staying clean to just growing as a person?
Like I said, it could have been day one.
Yeah.
But I noticed it when around my 10th, 12th year, I noticed it that I had a deep commitment to this way of life. Mm-hmm. And I made a decision to myself, to God and myself, that I'm not going to let nothing, not even me, not even my own self get between me and my recovery. Yeah. And I made that decision.
I think mine was watching my daughter be born.
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't realize that was the moment.
Yeah.
And then a year in, I realized that I haven't thought about any part of recovery, that I'm just working myself and learning how to be better. And I still, even though I don't go to meetings and I don't have a sponsor, I've never done the steps, I still read literature. I still listen to things like this. But I think it was right after, about a year after my daughter was born, I was just like, man, I haven't thought about that in a while. And then I realized, I don't ever want her. I don't ever want the words, yeah, my dad was a drunk,
right, coming
out of her mouth. I don't want her to know that side, because it's on both sides of her family, the disease. And the more, I'm not hiding it from her, because I'll tell her, but I think that was it for me, was my daughter, because I never thought I was going to have kids, man. I had a doctor say, no, man, that thing ain't never producing a child. But
that's love, Billy.
Yeah.
That's the where the rubber meets the road. Mm-hmm. That's it explains everything. It overcomes everything. Love. Yeah. That's what unites us.
Yeah.
That's what recovery is, love.
That is right there. I'm going to go to the last question on that note, because that is amazing. Man, you were throwing out some home runs up in it doesn't take much to think about our entire life. You can think about just when we dream, you can have a dream that, and the dream lasts 3 months, but it's only been 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So you can think about your entire life from as far as you can remember to right now. Thinking about that, what are you the most proud of?
I'm the most proud of not giving up, because I thought I gave up, but I didn't give up. Mm-hmm. I wanted to quit. I wanted to die and not go through that pain of living in that hell of addiction, dereliction, killing myself, hurting my family. But I didn't give up. So that's the most proud I am of everything I'm doing. I never gave up, and I'm not going to give up.
That's beautiful. My man Wendell, we made my day.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Billy.
Thank you so much, man.